Hello friends, welcome back. In this class we are going to discuss about jQuery selector. So in our last classes we have just discussed about jQuery events, jQuery effect. In this class the topic is jQuery selector, and this notepad plus you can change the title from here, jQuery selector. jQuery selector. So you can just remove all this from here, script tag, from style tag also, and body tag. So at the first word selector is called the way of selecting an element. It can be HTML element or any other element which you are creating inside your script tag. For example, if you are just going to create a div here inside the body, div start and div close. So you can just give a class or ID for this, space ID or class equal sign. You are just going to give a name for your class. For example, div1. So this is the name, and we have created a class inside this div. So you can just give a text here. For example, selector test, just this much. You can save this. Just go to run menu and launch in Chrome to see the result. So you can see here is written selector test. Now we are going to use some CSS here for selecting the class. We have dot, and after that you must give the name, div1, and this name is optional. You can just choose any name. I have chosen here div1. You can choose any other name which you want, and after that you can open the curly braces. The width of this should be something like 200 pixel, the height 200 pixel, and a background color should be black color, text color white, and font size 18 pixel. Save this and go to your browser and refresh. So we have a box here, you can see, and zoom out. Now simply you can copy this div or duplicate by pressing Ctrl+D from your keyboard 2 more times, and you can just change the name, div2, and this one should be div3. Ctrl+S and just come here and refresh. So we have 2 more div here. The same, you can just duplicate this also 2 more times. This can be div2, and this div number 3. You can change the background color. For example, this should be red color, the text color should be yellow, and this one should be just, you can say, blue, and again the text color should be something like yellow. Save this, come here and refresh. So we have 3 div here. You can see 3 different div. So if we do not create class or ID inside this, you can say, once I'm just going to remove this, or you can just select instead of this div1, you can just select this div, only div, because we have div here. Ctrl+S to save. Now just come back here and refresh, and I'm just going to remove these 2 for right now, or just making comments. You cannot make comments here. You can just remove this, and Ctrl+S to save. Just come back and refresh. So it's not working, you can see. We can just remove this 2 line by pressing Ctrl+X. For right now we have just selected only div. You can see div is a default selector, so we have selected the div, and save this, come here and refresh. So you can see we have 3 different div with the same format, with the black background color and white text color. So as we given here, background black, text color white, font size 18 pixel. So you can change from here. So this is the beauty of selector, that inside element, inside the same element, you can create a selector like class, like id, and then you can just give different formatting for your elements. For example, we have 3 div here inside the body, 3 div. If we not use inside this selector a class or id, so we cannot give different format, different style for the elements. So this the usage of selector. Selector is called the way of just using element, or the way of selecting element and giving different formatting for that element. So I'm just going to paste those divs here back, dot div2, and here dot div3, and here div1 with the dot sign. So when we are just creating class, for classes we are using dot sign, you can see. And after that, whenever you are just selecting a name, it can be anything like div1, it can be any word you are selecting. So you are just, after the dot sign, you are giving the name and the properties which you want to use for your elements. Control S to save and refresh. So you can see now we have 2 different selector. So for div3, div2, div3, dot div1 v, control S and refresh. So now we are just going to create a button here. By pressing on that button, you can change the background of these 3 elements. So just for creating button, come inside your HTML file or body tag, just use button start and button close, and you can just create a class or id here. I'm creating id and butt is the name. So just come inside your script tag or jQuery file here, insert a $sign and a round bracket, full stop, another round bracket, and semicolon. So here inside the single quotation, you can select this button at first. So we have used here id. For id we have #, press shift and 3 from your keyboard for inserting #, and the name of your button is butt. You have selected the button, and now you need to just give event for this button. For example, when someone click on this button, after clicking on this button, you need to run the function and open round bracket and curly braces. This is the rule for using function. And after that, we are going to select this div. So as the topic is selector, so at first we have selected the button here, and now we are just going to select the div here. So again $, round bracket, dot, again round bracket, and semicolon. Inside the single quotation, you can use here for class you are using dot, and the name is div1, and you are just using here CSS as we discussed in our last class, and here a curly braces. So just single quotation, colon, again single quotation, and for separating we are using comma. I think you are remember. And here you are just saying the background color should be something like green color, and the text color should be something like orange. You can save this, just come here and refresh. So you must write something on the button here. For example, click to change the color. Control S. Now come back, and again you need to refresh, change on this. You can see the first one, at first the background color is black with the white text color. After clicking on this button, you can see the first element is just going to change. You can use a BR here just for making some space. BR and BR. Control S and refresh. Just click on this. You can see the first element. So sorry for this. Here inside your jQuery file, I have just selected div number 1 only, this one. So you can put a comma here, and with a dot you can select div 2 also, div 2, and again a comma, again dot sign. You can select div 3 and Control S to save. Now come back here and refresh, click on this button, so you can see it's working. Just by clicking a single click, by doing a single click, you can just change these 3 elements. You can bring in the same format. You can see, you can change the style, and you can give a same format for all of this. So just because you have used selector here, we have just selected div 1, div 2 and div 3. Just by doing one click on the button, on this button, so you can just change the color. You can see. So I hope that word selector is clear for you, and you can just select, you can create selector anywhere inside any element. For example, we have a p tag here, p start and p close. So this can be any tag like heading tag, p tag, or you can just write something here inside this p tag. Hello friends, and welcome to the complete course of jQuery. You can save this, just come here and refresh. So you can see we have a p tag here, so you can give the same format for p also. Just after this div, you need to just put a comma here and select p. Control S. Now just come back here and refresh, so you can see the same format we have just given for the p also. So this is the beauty of selector. You can use selector in different place, in different element, and for different purpose. So just watch the video and do practice. Have a nice time and see you.